Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching the rebroadcast of this wonderful podcast. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Today, we are talking about something almost every ambitious, high-achieving Black woman has dealt with or has felt, but rarely says out loud. Issa Rae recently shared that even with everything that she's accomplished, she does not feel successful right now. She says she feels stagnant because she does not have anything on the air at this moment. So no shows currently being broadcast on any network. That hit a nerve because so many of us live with that same pressure. You can be winning, you can be respected, you can be building an empire and still feel like you are not doing enough. So today we're going to talk about success, seasons, productivity, pressure, and why so many Black women feel guilty resting between accomplishments, because we need our rest. I'm talking about it with some of the dopest queens, some of the most high achieving, successful queens that I know. Dr. Alicia's with us today. Shalay Camilo, is it Camilo or Camille? Camilo.
It's Camilo.
Camilo and Noma Langa. Let's start with the video first, because I personally haven't seen it. I want to see what she's talking about before we get into our conversation, and we'll be right back.
I know that I appear successful to other people, but right now, no, I feel really stagnant and that's literal, because a lot of the shit that I've been working on, because I only feel successful when my shit is on the air. I don't have shit on the air right now.
Really?
Yeah. Like, cause that's my love. Like, I can have the 18 businesses that you said, and those are like great passion projects, but like what I do and what I get excited about isn't happening right now. So no, I don't feel successful. Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Yeah,
I'm not successful right now.
So do you not count? I know the answer, but the stuff you've done, once it's over and aired, and even though it's technically airing, if it's not a brand new show with new episodes or movie, once it's out of theaters and off the air, you're just like, I am nothing again.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I have no.
I'm gonna write that in my journal. But yes, that is. I haven't put words to it, but that's exactly how I have nothing again. Is crazy. It's so real.
Yo, that is hilarious. I felt that in my spirit. I operate like that too. What's your first reaction to Issa saying that she does not feel successful, or not necessarily that she feels like nothing, because those were Kevin's words, but that she doesn't feel successful unless she's operating in her passion or something's on TV? Shalay, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts when you hear that?
Yes, I so related to that. And I related to her saying on the outside, it looks like everything is like happening, right? And that could be true. And then on the inside, if the goals that you set in place or the things that you know you want to do, they're not necessarily coming to fruition as fast or as big as you want them to, it can feel like that. It's actually refreshing to hear her say something like that, to hear her perspective on that.
It's almost like permission, not really, but almost like permission, because I think we all go through it. Really, what I heard her say was, I ain't working right now. And if I ain't working, I don't feel successful. And I think everybody can relate to that. If you don't got a job, you don't feel like you out here in this world doing what you're supposed to be doing with no job. Not Shalay. No, Belinga, have you ever felt stagnant even when you're doing well or when you're doing something?
Well, yeah, definitely. I think that was much earlier in my life, though. I certainly don't struggle with that now. I think what she really highlights is the importance of life balance. My brand is all about life balance. You know, if I was just a mother and a wife and I didn't have my own, money-making activities, I feel like something was missing. If I was just chasing the dollar or whatever and I didn't have a family to come home to, I'd still feel like something was missing. So I think she's just showing us that it's important to have a more balanced life rather than, oh, I don't have that job and now I feel like nothing. I'm sure she's exaggerating and being funny, but she is highlighting the importance of life balance.
Okay. So, Dr. Alicia, why do you think, as our therapist on here, that so many Black women tie success to being visible or producing something? I might actually add being active, being productive, doing all the things, doing all the work, because she has businesses, but she's not doing the thing that like makes her heart happy. Why do we feel like that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in a way because think about Issa Rae. She was on the grind for such a long time. I mean, she was doing that awkward Black girl. She wasn't making any money from it. Or maybe on YouTube, she started out just like a self-made person. And so the grind that it takes to go up the ladder, and she has achieved a lot. She's got a lot of notoriety. She was in the Barbie movie. She's done a lot of really wonderful things. And now, and you get used to everybody calling you, everyone reaching out to you, and you got to kind of prioritize. And now things are starting to settle down. And I suggest that she just needs to just enjoy this and take this as an opportunity to sit and reflect and come up with another fantastic show, because that one show she had on Netflix, not Netflix, on HBO was a hit.
Insecure.
I mean, it was really, really a one. Insecure was really, really great. Like she was really, her finger was on the pulse of something real with young people dating in Los Angeles. And now it's time for her she's married now. So maybe she can do another show that's a little bit more, doesn't have to tell her own story, but I think take this as an opportunity to sit and reflect, to possibly do something new. But, things come in cycles. I don't know. I wish Black Hollywood was here. Things come in cycles, and she's new to this. And so she's getting used to the cycle and and the biggest thing is to know that you're worthy, no matter if you're on television or if you're not on television. And I think on some level, she definitely knows that. It's just taking a blow because things are calming down. And so she's noticing that maybe her phone's not blowing up as much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's Hollywood. I mean, we're specifically talking about Issa Rae because it's Hollywood, but I think it's a bigger issue than Issa. A lot of Black women feel as if their hand is not involved in something, or they're not doing something, or they're not showing up, or they're not being productive or busy, that they are not successful in that moment. We don't always catalog all of our wins in the season where it's calm. In the chat, let me know what you guys think. Do you feel successful based on your past accomplishments in what you're doing today, whether you're high or whether you're low? And I see this a lot with entrepreneurs around pricing, and with people who go to work when they're negotiating for salaries. We don't take into consideration all of our successes. We'll say, oh, that was 5 years ago, or that was 2 years ago, or I don't have that anymore. And so we discount those successes when we go to present ourselves because it already happened. It's in the past. We're so focused on the future and what comes next, and the next milestone, and the next win, and the next 100,000. They already did that. Like that's, I'm good. Shalay, do you think that we confuse purpose with busy? Gotta be busy in order to be operating in our purpose?
That is a good question. And to go back to the whole balance thing, like before we even went live, I wrote a couple things down, right? Because I so relate to Issa Rae and what she's saying. I had never seen the video before, but I know for me lately, even my coach, so I have a couple different coaches, and my real estate coach is like we've had calls where I'm in tears, right? And she's like, Shalay, how much is enough? And I have a hard time answering that question. Like, how much is enough? And it's like you have this going on, you have this going on, and you reach a certain level of happy. You're happy with everything. I find myself, and I think maybe this may go back, and maybe Dr. Alicia, you can help with this, but this may go back to rearing and training as a child too. I've always been the type of person who was doing. So, and Issa's probably like that too. So when it slows down, you're like, wait, I'm supposed to be doing. And so much of your worth is tied into you doing. I have definitely experienced that. And I've learned, like in the past, I'm talking about a year and a half, y'all, to just be like, actually, no. When I was pregnant with Story, I remember I was super busy, clients constantly calling me, my phone constantly ringing. And I was like, I'm pregnant. I am not about to drive myself crazy. This is going to be, whatever I do this year, it's going to be enough for me. Okay. And ever since then, I've kind of gotten into the place where it's not so much about produce, even though I have setbacks and I go into that mode, and I wouldn't call it a setback, but it's really about learning to appreciate when things are quote unquote less productive, and being able to appreciate that contrast and be like, you know what? It's all right. I do need to take a breath. I do need to put my feet up. I do need to binge watch whatever this show is. I need to give myself that grace to be able to do that without feeling guilty about it. But I also think it stems back for me to who I've always been. And I'm kind of unlearning some things around that.
All right. We're going to keep digging into this conversation. I think it's going to make for a great podcast today. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial and we'll be right back.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
Issa Rae says she does not feel successful right now. And it's so interesting to me how we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect or to feel some sense of satisfaction. She says she doesn't feel successful right now because she doesn't have anything new or current on the air right now. So she kind of just feels stagnant in her creativity. And yes, she has her wines, and yes, she has other projects that are successful right now, but she said those are more like passion projects for her. But producing and directing these shows and these movies is where her true passion lies. She over here down in the dumps about herself. Meanwhile, it's a new damn think piece about Insecure going up every fucking day. Like, ma'am, you gave us a black classic TV show, but that ain't enough, huh? Oh, okay. And in no way am I discrediting her for how she feels. She's very valid and how she feels. I totally understand. I feel the same way when it comes to creating and producing things and not putting things out and feeling like, stagnant or just not moving forward in what you want to see progress for your career. But just put that into perspective. Issa Rae, the woman who gave us Insecure, is feeling insecure right now because she doesn't feel like she's producing anything. So you need to stop being so hard on your damn self.
So that word enough came up again. And we hear it a lot when we're talking about success, right? I hear you have enough success. You have enough accolades. Like you don't have to do anything else, Dr. Lene. You have enough. And I was like, well, what exactly is enough? And who's running around with the measurement wand that's saying, oh, you have enough and you have enough and you have enough? I think enough is based on that person's view of success or their definition of success. Because I always say to people, when Oprah wake up with her billions of dollars, she don't be like, oh, I have enough. You know what I'm saying? I got 1 billion, I want 2 billion. Like when is enough enough? And I think it goes back to your definition of success. So, Noma Langa, how do you personally define success in your current season or in your life, or what does success look like for you?
Tough question. But I think that it's actually become very, very simplified. And this is later in life. And I think that it's funny, it's just very simple. It's just about having or being at peace. And I've realized that that doesn't really have too much to do with what I'm accomplishing or not accomplishing, what anybody's doing or not doing. It's about me and the decision to be at peace. And then start from that point. It's a good place because I do remember, when I was in graduate school, I was working 3 part-time jobs. And I can remember after those 2 years, because I was always running. I woke up at 5 a.m. and dropped every day at about 11 p.m. and just did it again over and over 7 days a week. And I remember even after maybe a year after I had stopped doing that, I still got that feeling, I got to be somewhere, or I didn't do an assignment, so it takes a while to get over that. And I'm now realizing that that was probably traumatic. But I'm realizing now that it's nice to be at peace, to have peace. Even when things go well, I'm obviously happy, I'm overjoyed. But even when they don't go well, I have enough life experience to know that I can cope with it, I can overcome it, and things will be okay. And that gives me peace. So that's how I define success, just finding that peace.
Okay. CE Art says, Earl Nightingale said, success is the pursuit of a worthy ideal. If it's not worthy, it feels hollow, no matter how much you have, such as money. But if you can just move forward in some way daily, fulfillment can come in the form of a coffee and appreciating the moment. Dr. Alicia, how do you define success?
Success means so many different things to so many different people. And a lot of it has to do with who are you comparing yourself to? Who's your comparison group? That can identify for many people what success looks like. And if there's a certain group that you compare yourself to and you feel like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not quite there like everybody else is, maybe it doesn't feel successful to you. And I think that's what a lot of people use to measure whether they're successful or not. I think I'm successful. There's tangible things that I want to accomplish in my life, that I have accomplished in my life, that I feel good about. There's some softer things, such as like, having great sound. I think having a great sound system in place to help me deal with all of the pressure that I'm under as a mom, as a wife, as an employer, I'm a W-2, but I'm also an entrepreneur, all these different things. But I carve out time where I am not going to take calls. I do carve out time where I'm not going to grade papers. I'm just not going to be available, where I just sit and try to relax. And I think it's so great because what Noma Langa talked about when she was, she was really describing the fact that her nervous system was in this state of hypervigilance and being overwhelmed and being activated by stress because there was always something that she had to do. You guys pay attention to that, because, when she was able to reflect on what was happening to her in graduate school, and that happens to me too in graduate school, when you're able to reflect on it and you're thinking, oh, what was going on here? I need to relax. Now I'm in a state where I value my time, where I'm relaxing and not having to do something all the time. Just because you're sitting on the couch watching television, it does not mean that you're lazy. It just means that you're carving out time to relax. And that's so important, to relax and to be able to reflect is so equally important too. That's success.
Okay. And we're going to round it out with you, Shalay. How do you define success? I'm going to tell you guys mine in a second, but I'm going to give everybody a chance first.
Yeah, so my definition of success I found throughout my life is ever evolving. Like, my definition of success right now, I'm totally sure it's going to be different in 5 years when my girls are at a different age group and at a different age range and things like that. For me right now, and I hope that I keep this through all the different versions of success that I will create. But for me right now, it's really about, like, when my coach really said that, how much is enough? For me, it's about feeling fulfilled, because there have been times when I made a shit ton of money, right? And it was just like, I just felt like I was hustling, and it was cool. It was great, right? But it didn't give me the feeling that I thought it was going to give me. And there have been times where I helped someone buy a house that I didn't get paid a lot on it because they couldn't afford a lot, but they would never have been able to do that. And I felt so good and felt so fulfilled. So I think for me, success now is being able to feel fulfilled. And maybe even that may not be happening every single day, but I try to be intentional about getting back to that when I notice that I'm off track with that. Like, am I feeling fulfilled? And if I'm not, what can I do that's going to make me feel fulfilled and feeling good? That's my idea of success now. Obviously, paying the bills and everything, but really, how do I feel? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling fulfilled about what I'm doing? And if I'm not, what am I going to do to shift that? That's my idea of success at this time.
All right, cool. So I never feel successful. I hardly ever feel successful. And it's due to a little bit of what you said, Shalay. If I'm not being challenged, I don't feel successful. So many things come to me so easily that I feel like, okay, well, I could have did that in my sleep. And if I could do it in my sleep, it feels like it wasn't valid or valuable. My therapist talks to me about that. Like, you can't discount those things, but I feel like if I'm not trying, she says, what does she tell me? You think that chaos is success. But it's not that I think that chaos is success. I just feel like if it comes to me too easily, I didn't earn it. And if I didn't earn it, then how can I feel successful? So when people are like, enough is enough, it's not yet. I'm still pushing, I'm still grinding, I'm still pushing myself, because I haven't hit the thing where I felt like I had to struggle to get that. I got my PhD in 5 years, which people are like, oh my God, that's a long time. Well, not compared to people that it takes 7 and 9 and 10. 5 is like nothing. So I don't feel like I didn't. Things come way too easily. Lord, please let them keep coming easily.
I'm going to say, knock on wood.
Let them keep on coming easy, Lord. But because they do, sometimes that's what makes me feel like I'm not successful sometimes. And I'm trying to deal with it and be better with it, because like you, when I help somebody do something that seemed impossible, that's when I feel successful. Like, oh my God, I didn't think we were going to be able to do it, and we pulled it out. I didn't think you were going to make it. I didn't think we were going to hit that goal. Those are the moments when I feel successful, when I had to pull it out the mud and be like, bam, ooh, like that's what makes me feel successful. And it could be in work. It could be in my fitness. It could be in what I ate. It could be in what I'm doing with my son. If it's a challenge that I met and I walked through it, then I feel successful. All right, so we're going to take our commercial. We're going to come back. We're going to keep this conversation going.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us, so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming.
Issa Rae did an interview with KevOnStage, and she says she doesn't feel successful right now because she doesn't have anything on the air. Now, I don't know how people receive this, but I know how I received it. And that's a winner mentality right there. We all know Issa Rae is successful. She knows she's successful. She even brought up that she has like 14 different brands going on right now. I know she has a champagne brand. I know she has some brick and mortar stores, countless other things. But she said, making film and TV, that's what I do. And the fact that I don't have anything on air right now, I'm not feeling successful right now. I'm not popping right now. I'm not where Issa Rae should be right now. That's that mama mentality right there. And that's why Issa is who she is. Because you don't just become satisfied with the status quo. You don't look at the past and say, well, I did Insecure. I'm good. I was in the Barbie movie. I'm good. Issa's like, nah, it's work to be done right now. And I got to get to it. I got to get to it because I am not satisfied. She didn't look at the outer world and say, oh, man, this movie just went #1. Oh, man, this show. She said, I got to get popping. Me, Issa. I got to get on it. That's what I'm talking about, Issa. I like to hear stuff like that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Ski.
I like his breakdown because you have fools, folks, in case somebody's on the line. Yes, Issa Rae is married, anonymous. You have folks who be 47-year-old reliving their heydays in high school. I used to be the high school football quarterback. Dude, you 47 and got a beer belly now. Like, wait a minute. And let me be even. Let's be even. I used to be the beauty queen. Yeah, but now you 55 and you're not the queen of beauty anymore. Like, people live off of past successes without going after and trying to attain new ones, right? However, Dr. Alicia, is it normal for success to feel temporary? Like for you to be flying high and have some successes and have some wins, and then it fleets or is it fleet? It's fleeing. And then maybe you get another one. Is that normal? Or do people usually operate more like the high schooler who's like, I used to play high school 30 years ago when I was the quarterback?
I don't think success should be external. And if you are putting your worth on an external validation, then you're always going to be chasing something that's always going to be going away. It's always going to be leaving you. You're always going to be, like I said, comparing yourself to whatever this norm is for yourself and thinking, I got to do better and always got to do more things. I have to top what I did the last time. And I mean, why not just enjoy your passion projects? I was surprised by that. She said, I got passion projects, but some of that is in the dark. Maybe it's not on big screen and maybe it's not supposed to be. So I think that we need to take some time and think about the fact that we live in the world that adheres success to this external visible thing. And instead of something where you can define it for yourself about what you want. And I think, this is Hollywood we're talking about, but I think for a lot of us, we always feel like we need to follow this pattern of just often being required to stay in motion. For a lot of Black women, I was just thinking on the break, a lot of Black women, your job is to hold the family together. We got the holidays coming up, and I've been spending all my time trying to think about what we're going to do, how people are going to get together, what is this? And so it's performing at such a high level so that I don't drop the ball anywhere, because success for me is I don't want to be seen as incompetent. I want to be able to make a mistake and it's okay. I'm still successful. So sometimes your drive and this ability to stay busy, it's there, but it makes sense. And I think for most of us, we need to just be able to recognize this pattern and stop and think about what it means for us. And is success means that I have to be perfect and that I have to work on a project that always has to have these accolades? Or can I work on a passion project, any one of us, and nobody sees it? There's a few people who can recognize it and feeling good about that. So it doesn't need to have that validation. And then we need to start understanding that, we need to define it for ourselves, but it's not for us to broadcast to everybody. So we need to think about how we're validated and who validates us.
Okay, so I'm going to go against the grain. I liked a lot of what you said, but I disagree on some of what you said, because I think it's the difference between being Kobe Bryant and the dude that's sitting on the bench. We don't even know that dude's name. You have to have some type of Mamba mentality, some type of go get 'em, or you're going to get left behind. Now, if being left behind or having enough is enough for that person, and that person validates themselves in, let me say it a different way because I don't want to be judgmental. I think enough is determined by the individual. Let me say it that way. Let me scale that back because I don't want to be judgmental. I think everybody has to decide what works for them. And I pulled it back because I can feel like with Noma Langa's success and my success, while I think they're, and I'm going to speak to Noma right now, I think they're similar, right? Family, children, happiness, things of that nature. And when I think about M3, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when I think about M3, your success is going to be more nuclear or nucleus, right? If your family is well, if you're serving your husband and he's happy, if your kids are doing well, if they're going to school, or if you're homeschooling and they're getting it, if the things that you can touch and make an impression on are doing well, you're feeling well and you're feeling like success. And while that is a part of it, for my external piece, for my makeup, it's this whole other lion thing too. Like, I got to go out here, I got to help 500 Black entrepreneurs make at least $500,000 in revenue, so I can help generate $250 million in the Black community. There's this change the world aspect of me as well, that if I don't leave an imprint on both my family and the world, then I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I have that Mamba thing as well. Why do you think that social media and or the ways that the world has changed with women going out of the house to work, or whatever we want to call it, do you think that these things have changed how we measure success and how we drive after and we go after it? Noma Langa, that's for Noma Langa.
I think social media has changed it. There's always been, like I said, in my earlier years when I was younger, I was very ambitious and very driven. And I was prone to using words like hustling and grinding and all of that. And I hate those words now. I'm just over it. And maybe it's because I did accomplish a lot from what I could perceive at the time. But I got to kind of that point where she is, where you realize that it doesn't matter how much you accomplish and how much you do. If you don't have peace within yourself, you're always going to be chasing this moving goalpost. And I actually got even further, and I realized that some of what really drove me was that kind of feeling of like, I'm not enough, and hopefully if I do enough, I'll be enough. And I'm glad that I evolved past that. I don't feel that way. I can still accomplish a lot of things. I can raise money like crazy and serve communities. I have a charity. I coach people. I've saved marriages just from, talking people off the ledge. You do things. And I think some of it has also to do with not being a selfish person, because when you start to be overly involved with yourself and your contentment and am I doing I, me, it really does rob you of the beauty of life and understanding that there's other people and other things,
That's good. Shalay, do you think so? I don't want to get into the comparison, so I'm not going to talk about like the comparison and being stagnant behind those things, because I think we can all agree that you shouldn't compare yourself to anybody else. You're running your own race, so we're not going to have that necessarily that conversation. But I think some of what Issa was really talking about was the fear that Black women often face with losing momentum, right? And so there's this pressure to always be on, because that's the social media piece. If you're not in front of people, if you're not being seen, is it really happening? If you aren't doing some work, if somebody's not commenting on it, if no one sees it, then you're kind of, yesterday's news, it has been, you're behind. So you have to kind of keep this momentum to be the hot stuff. So do you think Black women fear losing momentum? Is that why we might feel like we're not successful sometimes, or we're always chasing the next thing?
Yeah, I believe that can be part of it. I believe that can be part of it. I know for me, I like as far as the social media thing, I'll have my spurts where I'm out there and I'm posting and everything like that. And then I have my spurts where like I just go into myself and I'm just like, you know what? This is a time where I'm not going to stress myself about posting 2 times a day on Facebook or Instagram. And I just, naturally kind of ebb and flow in that. And, there can be an argument that says, well, no, you need to be out there every single day and doing this and every single day. I think it also depends on the level of drive and ambition that you have at that time. Because we can sit back and we can say, we have this drive or we don't have this drive, or someone has it and someone else doesn't have it. But there is something to be said about that Mamba mentality. Like you said, billionaires, most of them who haven't just inherited their money and who really like built something, billionaires got into that position because they have that unrelenting drive. And not everyone's going to have that, and that is okay. And just like you said, success and your ambition and your drive is very individual. So what can be super ambitious to me, like what that I'm seeing, another person might be like, oh, you make $2 million a year. Oh my God, I need to make $25 million a year or $100 million a year. So I think that it's very, very personal. And that's why I don't think it's hard to define. I think it's hard to define when we start comparing ourselves to what other people are doing. I think that like generally, I've got tunnel vision. I don't look to the left or look to the right. I don't care what anybody else is doing. I'm doing Chalet. Chalet does what Chalet does. And so I think that I've always just been very confident in that. Not saying that there aren't times where you can look and say, oh, I can do better, and you judge yourself. But I think that you need to have that too, because if you don't, then you don't have that drive, and that's okay if you're okay with it. But if you want to be super ambitious, you know that you're going to have those moments that you're going to have that conversation with yourself about, I need to be doing more, and that it just is what it is.
Yeah, you have to be your best. Sometimes we're our worst critic, but you also have to be your biggest motivator and leader as well. A 2024 Gallup study found that Black women report the highest levels of workplace burnout across all demographic groups. I believe that. According to the Black Women Thriving Report, nearly 70% of Black women say they feel pressure to overperform to maintain respect. Ooh, I know that one too. 8 out of 10 high-achieving Black women say they struggle to feel successful even when they hit major milestones. A Harvard Business Review report noted that Black women often feel the need to constantly produce in order to stay visible and protected in their industries. Social media increases feelings of comparison and inadequacy by more than 35%, especially for creators and entrepreneurs. Heck yeah, it does. All right. I was going to say something, but I think we'll take a quick commercial break and then we'll come back and finish. Oh, wait, before we do that, I did have a question. And this could be simple. It doesn't have to be quick because I want to transition to something else. Do you think women feel this way more than men? It's just a quick yes or no. Dr. Alicia, do you think women feel this way more than men?
Yeah, I do. I do think women do.
Melinda, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Chalet?
I'm not sure.
Interesting, right? All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna take our commercial. We're gonna come back and keep having this discussion.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Jasmine.
Do you mean to tell me that you respond to trauma by excelling because it proves your worth, and you live in a society that consistently and constantly tries to devalue your very being, and that when you experience trauma, it deepens the internalized pressure to prove that you're more than your pain, you're brilliant, you're unstoppable, and you're fully capable? Me too.
Sorry about that. I was reading. Jasmine says, these statistics are heartbreaking, but honestly, conversations are needed. In the chat, we have a nice amount of people in here, ladies, and I'm speaking specifically to the ladies for this really quick moment. In the chat, let me know if you have felt this way. Have you felt like if you're not producing or if you're not in a moment of where your hand is on something that you feel, good about, that you may not feel successful? Does your success ebb and flow? Do you have seasons where you feel stagnant, or are you pretty consistent? And then what I want to ask the queens is, how do you handle quiet seasons when nothing big is happening? Because we know you're not going to always be on. We know things are not going to always be at 100. We know that it's an ebb and flow. So when you're not on in that moment, or you did not hit the goal, or you're not feeling, let's say, the most successful in that season, what do you do in those moments? Dr. Alicia, we'll start with you. How do you handle those quiet seasons?
Let me tell you, I plan for quiet seasons. I just go, I want more quiet. I want more quiet seasons in my life where there's not much going on. I got to tell you, I'm almost like an empty nester, so I'm feeling it right now. And there's something with it was hard being on the go all the time because my children were smaller and they just needed me all the time. And and now it's two of them have left, and now it's just one left in the house. And I'm just like, oh, I can sit down a little easier. And then I feel sad a little bit. Like, I want my kids to come back home. But then I don't want them to come home because they're where they need to be. They really are where they need to be. And so I have to I'm allowing myself to grapple with all of that. And I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not filling in this extra time with a bunch of stuff. So I have to really plan. And I've been talking to my husband about when in a few years we will be done. We'll be done with children. So I have to plan for that. And part of that plan, that's my down season, by the way. Part of that plan is to just take some time and spend a lot of times doing nothing, absolutely nothing, and making sure that I'm in control of it. I think that's how I deal with it, is where my life can be as busy as I can make it. I have a list of all of the things I want to accomplish professionally. There are classes I want to teach and things that I've done that I've already developed. I just haven't rolled it out because I don't have time to do everything at the same time. And so I do a lot of meditating, and I do a lot of spiritual work, and I do a lot of things like that help keep me balanced, because that's my self-care plan that keeps everything into perspective. That, as things go up, they will go down. Things are ebbing and things are always flowing, but it doesn't really matter because I am walking in a purpose. And it could be on a small scale, it could be on a big scale. No matter what it is, I'm being Alicia and living my true self from inside out. These are the things that I meditate on and focus on. And if I make a mistake, and I make lots of mistakes, and I think it's funny, I learn from it, but I don't take it to heart. And I think what a lot of people do when they feel like they always have to be on this rat race is that they're fighting this myth about themselves, that they are unworthy and that they have to do these things in order to feel worthy. I think we need to stop that kind of thing, and just know that you're not fighting against this myth, that you inherently are worthy of any and everything. And that whatever you accomplish and you achieve, that's just extra stuff. And it's really beautiful. And I think it's a lesson for us all to help keep ourselves grounded and keep ourselves balanced, and is taking it to another level. For other people, it could be religion, it could be spirituality, whatever it is for you. Look to whatever you can to keep yourself balanced.
Does anybody else want to answer that or have a different perspective or view?
I think the question was what happens when it's just...
How do you handle quiet seasons when nothing big is happening?
Yeah. I will say, I do know that it can be actually quite depressing. if you haven't arrived at a point where you have contentment and peace. It can be depressing, although it's hard for me to imagine such a season because I've had children in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s. So it feels like I've just been busy since I can remember. So it's hard to imagine a time when there's nothing going on because there's always a lot going on. But that being said, I do remember that sometimes I did go through those times where I felt like if I wasn't going from one big accomplishment to another, there was that like depressing feeling like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. I'm not accomplishing enough. And I keep saying this, as I've gotten older, I really have evolved to a point where that's not so much of a factor anymore. And I think you learn to like table things, like Dr. Alicia said. And when you get to that quiet time, you can finally take some stuff off the back burner and bring it to the front and be like, wow, I can finally write or finish those 3 books that I've been working on and didn't finish. I can go on that holiday. I can do all these other things, and I can take better care of myself. I can spend more time with, my mother passed away, but I wanted to spend more time with my parents. I wanted to spend more time with my children. So I think it evolves as you get older.
Okay. Shalay, thoughts? How do you handle quiet seasons when nothing big is happening?
Yeah, so the same, like my lifestyle right now is super busy. I got a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old. So when I'm not busy at work, I feel like I always have something to do. And I don't know about you guys. Have you ever been in that state where you feel anxiety taking a nap in the middle of the day? Or like if you try to sleep in on a Saturday, which sleeping in is like 8 o'clock, right? You try to sleep in and you feel guilty about that and feel anxiety about that. So for me, how I'm handling it, and like I said, this has come with the second child. How I'm handling it is really like giving myself more grace, because there is always, I feel like my to-do list, it does not end. And as soon as I check something off, something else needs to be put on it. So there's always something to do, whether it's business or personal, but I've been trying to give myself grace and literally talking to myself and being like, nah, you're going to sit down here and you're going to watch 3 episodes of Love is Blind. You're going to do that right now because you deserve to do that. And that's fine. And you're going to do it.
I know a little bit of a combination. First of all, what is a quiet season? But second of all, when they do come, I use them to prepare for my busy seasons. Like I need quiet in order to do what I do, but I kind of plan them and prepare for them. I don't let them just like pop up. I know that in December every year I'm going to go to Sedona for 3 to 4 days, and I'm going to sit and stare at the stars and the mountains and look at the red rocks. I'm going to talk to God. I'm going to get quiet so I can get ready for the new year. I do it every year. I've been doing it for the last like 4 or 5 years. I know that my birthday, I'm going to take a week off so I can re-up and refresh, because that's when I start my new year, and I need to talk to God to be like, what are we doing this next year? I know I'm taking vacation, so I kind of plan my quiets so that it doesn't pop up on me in the middle of when I need to be busy. So, because when it does, it looks like vegging out and sitting and watching like 8 episodes of Law and Order. And then I'm like, oh my God, what did I do in my day? So I have to make my quiet seasons, or else my quiet season will pop up in the middle of, oh my God, I have a launch. I don't have 8 hours to watch this, but I have worked so hard. My body is like, and my mind will be like, no, ma'am, you are going to sit and be still. And so I have to put those things in. And so, I wanted to do our final thought on something where we can answer and give feedback and or advice, right? Because I don't think that this is a monolithic feeling. And I don't even think it only belongs to Black women. I think the Black men feel it too. Maybe not as much as Black women, but I think Black men feel it too, as the head and the leader and the providers, that, maybe if they're without a job or they're not making the same money that they are used to making, or whatever the case might be. So I think we all kind of have this feeling sometimes of not being successful all the time. And when I'm saying, I mean like a consistent, everyday, day to day. I think like Dr. Lucia said, there's an ebb and flow. There's times when you're feeling it more than other times. And so, the question I want to ask it's like a 2-part question. Number 1 is, what season are you personally in right now? Meaning, are you in a season of feeling like, man, I'm successful, I got it going on, everything is working out and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing? Are you in a season of quiet? You know what, right now I'm taking a break, I'm taking a beat, I'm really just, doing some interpersonal work and just dealing with my family? or are you, or whatever, or anything in between? Right now I'm feeling like I'm a little bit behind. I'm supposed to have a launch at the end of the year. So it can be whatever you want. But then what does a healthy relationship with ambition look like? Or what would you tell somebody who is struggling to feel successful or that they're enough? So A, where are you at in your life? And then B, what advice would you give someone who may not feel like they're as successful in this moment? Noma Lenga, we will start with you.
Just looking back at those statistics, I think a lot of times we don't get the choice to kind of say, oh, I'm in a season of just relaxing and doing nothing. It's kind of impossible to be in that season. I personally realized that when I got over kind of the season of my kids are little and I can breathe, then my parents were aging and I take care of them. And, so you never really get that season of I'm just doing nothing. But I do feel like, I think I said it before, that I really do have a lot of peace about my life, whether good or bad. I've just lived long enough to know that sometimes it's going to be good and sometimes it's not, and I will overcome and I can enjoy it. I think if you want to, in my opinion, if you want to have a life that feels successful, you have to understand yourself and what your values are. And as long as you're faithful to what you value and you're giving it your time, your energy, and your effort, and giving it your best, and you're getting positive outcomes, you'll feel successful. I feel successful with the littlest things and the biggest things because I'm faithful to my values. And I think that's what sometimes makes us feel bad, is when we pull away from what we value. I forgot its final thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Noma Langa. You can find me all across social media. On Instagram, I'm Noma Moses. I'm on Facebook as Noma Langa Haburuni, my new name. And I'm also always promoting our charity that I founded here in Botswana, which is great for this conversation, doing something meaningful. We have a charity that serves children or young girls that suffer from period poverty. And what we do is we supply them with sanitary pads so that they're able to go to school without feeling like they can't. So if you feel inclined, please do go to padsforourgirls.com. It's padsforourgirls.com, and even the smallest donations help, and they go a long way to helping our girls.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so much. All right, Dr. Alicia, what season are you personally in right now? And then what does a healthy relationship with ambition look like? Or what advice would you give to someone who might be struggling in the area of feeling successful?
My season, well, it's November, so grades are due in the next couple of weeks. So I am not in a quiet season. I'm looking forward to it. But I think that people should do, even though I'm not in a quiet season per se, I do take time every single day for quiet, even though that's not my season, but I do need to have like some time for quiet every single day. Every week, one day a week, I do take time where I can sit and have some quiet. And then monthly and quarterly and yearly, I embed this into my life so that I can keep up my health care, because this is my self-care plan that I maintain on a yearly basis forever, that I maintain so that I can show up and perform with a clear head, knowing that I'm not depleted. I'm giving myself time to rest. And that's what I encourage everybody to do. You have to look at 24 hours, 6 hours at a time, really dedicate that to sleep as much as possible. And if you can't do that, get advice from other people, get help, ask for help, open your mouth, ask for help. If you're not able to sleep 8 hours a day, at minimum. So it's your self-care plan. And when you have all these multiple responsibilities, it's asking for help and being okay with that, trying to ask for help from people and just saying, I'm overwhelmed. I can't handle this right now. I need help. It's okay to do that and still be successful. I think you're not going to be successful if you're just continuing to think that you can do this rat race with an empty tank. And so you have to allow yourself to know that there's strength in asking for help. There's strength in not doing it all. There's strength in setting boundaries. There's strength in speaking up and asking for things that you need, things that you need to help you to continue to do all the things that you need to do in your life. I am Dr. Alicia. I'm a couples coach. I also work with individuals. You can contact me at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. And that's my Instagram, at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. So everybody follow me on Instagram.
Awesome. All right, we're going to round it out with our queen, Shalay Camilo. What season are you personally in right now? And what does a healthy relationship with ambition look like? Or what advice would you give someone who might be struggling with feeling successful?
Yeah, so I'm definitely in a very active season. And like I said, I've been on this journey of being okay with the seasons of reaping and sowing. So I'm definitely in a season where I'm sowing. I do feel successful in the season, but I know once I come out of this season, there's going to be even more benefit on the other side. And sometimes when you're in the season of sowing, there are a lot of things that go on with that. Like your energy gets invested, but money can get invested and things like that. And I think it's important just to have a healthy mindset around what that actually looks like. So when you're in that season of sowing, be okay with it's going to take your energy. It can take other resources. It can take money. So number two, I think that it's important to give grace, give yourself a lot of grace. And really, I've been on this journey of enjoying the contrast. Everything is not always going to be one way or the other way. We're going to go and ebb and flow. We've been saying this throughout the show. We're going to ebb and flow throughout these seasons in our entire lives. So what it looks like right now, it may not look like that in 5 years or even 2 years or even 6 months. So give yourself the grace to go through these seasons and know that it's okay. And if you keep doing a little bit every day, even if you're in your quiet season, give yourself the opportunity and the grace to do a little bit every day. And what was the last question? Advice? That would be my advice.
Advice that you would give somebody. Is that the advice?
That would be my advice. Give yourself grace and enjoy the contrast. Have gratitude that you actually have the opportunity to slow down, because sometimes when you're in that season and you're going, you can be exhausted. So I'm Shalay Camilo with Vital Source Realty. I'm a real estate broker in Boston, Massachusetts, and I can help you buy and sell real estate anywhere in the United States or Canada. You can follow me on Instagram at Shalay Camilo. And my website is vitalsourcerealty.com. You can reach out to me there. I'd love to help.
Awesome sauce. So I'm going to keep this quick and concise if I can here. So I think everything that everybody said today was valid, because at the end of the day, I believe the success really is determined by you, the individual. Only you get to determine your level of success, how fast you run after it, if you take a break, when you slow down, when you feel it, how you feel it, right? Nobody can tell it to you. We can give you advice. We can encourage you to make you feel better. But at the end of the day, it's you knowing that you did everything that you could to accomplish something, to be quiet, to find peace, to be safe, to be a good mom, to be a good partner, to be a good student, to be a good business owner, whatever it is that you want to do at the level that you want to do it, when you feel like you have given enough, that is when you will feel successful. And you can feel successful in the quiet moments, because once you've given enough, then you get to rest and be like, I did what I was supposed to do. So success really is what you want. And so if somebody were to ask me, what season am I in right now? I'm in a season of pivot. I've had multiple successes, but now I'm in a season of pivoting where I get to help other people be successful. And it's that time of year, the end of the year, where everyone most of the time is in a frantic thinking about what comes next. What am I doing next year? How is my business going to thrive? Am I going to finish that book? Am I going to go to school? Am I going to travel? Am I going to do that event? What am I going to do? And so success sometimes feels like it's fleeting or it's slipping through our hands. But a lot of that is we don't have a strategy. A lot of it is we don't plan. And so I asked Tiara, our host, if I can invite you guys to a recording that I'm doing this weekend. Every single year, I do a vision and strategy. I'm late this year because I'm supposed to have had done it in October. And so what I decided to do was record it and then put it up for Black Friday. And so since I'm doing it that way, I'm going to do it for free. What, Dr. Lene, you doing something for free? Very rarely do I do something for free. But I am doing this weekend the CEO Re-Up Vision and Strategy weekend for free because I have to record it. And I hate to record with no audience. So since I need an audience to record to, if you're available this weekend and you want to sit down and strategize your 2026, on day one, we're going to be going through all that needs to take place in order to create a strategy for your new year. And then on Sunday, we're going to be doing the vision board. It's a virtual vision board, a whole little platform that will walk you through how to take your strategy, create a vision for it, and then put the actions that are necessary to make that strategy come to life. Okay. I am going to sell it for Black Friday, but I have to record it first. So if you are available, you would like to come and hang out and kick it and just like listen in on how to put your vision and your strategy together for the new year, if you go to ceoreup.com, you can sign up for free and I will help you to build your success story for 2026. So that being said, success is not a moment. It is not a post. It is not a project, and it is not tied to how loud your accomplishments are. You can be in a quiet season and still be growing. You can be out of the spotlight and still be successful. And you can pause without falling behind. Your worth does not disappear when the work slows down. Thank you to our incredible panel, our queens, for such an honest and healing conversation. Thank you to all of you for tuning in and chiming in and being here day after day. We love you. We appreciate you. We will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Go out, have a blessed day, continue to stay Black and be one, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.